Hey everybody, welcome back to the Reality Wind Down, a podcast where we break down all the latest Bravo TV drama and the biggest pop culture moments of the week, one glass of wine at a time. I'm Chase.
I'm Cassidy.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you this week?
I'm good. I think I'm honestly still full from our meal on Sunday.
Oh my god, guys, we had the best meal I've ever had in my life. Can we say like the restaurant? Maybe we shouldn't say it.
Yeah, maybe like whenever. So as we were saying, producer Joe left us. Like I said, not bitter, not salty, not angry at all.
But we went to his restaurant that he's working at, and literally, guys, the best meal, the best of it. Like, guys, when I say the vegetables were amazing, I've never gone to a restaurant and said the vegetables are the best thing I had. And the vegetables were out of this world.
Everything we had was so good. We ordered so much food. We couldn't stop. We were just like, okay, we're going to try this. We're going to try that. We're going to try that. And we sat outside. It was a beautiful night. It was a Sunday. We usually kind of like don't go to dinner on Sunday because you're trying to be lazy before the week. But you know what? It was a nice dinner on a nice Sunday.
I mean, I had a heck of a Sunday. I did get my vaccination.
So we were kind of celebrating the vaccination.
Yes.
You know, like
I got
Cassie's wrapped up.
I got the J&J, guys.
How do you feel about that?
The next day, they took them off the shelf. And they were like, all right, no more J&Js. And I mean, it is like a super rare thing. It's like 6 people out of like 7 million have gotten this thing that they're worried about.
It's very rare, and I wouldn't say there's anything to worry about. But you would be the one that got it last, and they're like, we're going to take it off the shelves.
Also, like, y'all know my hypochondriac ass. Like, I was like, okay, like, I'm scrolling through the memes now where people are making fun of it. And I'm like, yeah, like, internally, I'm like, oh my god, what if it happens to me?
Do you love how I was completely silent and didn't talk to you about that at all? I was like, I'm just not going to, I know she's seen it.
He's not going to hype me up.
I know she's worried. I'm not going to bring it up.
I'm
just going to let us lay on it.
Our other friend Alex was, like, sending me every article she found on it. Like, everyone's sending it to me. I was like, okay, guys, just stop. So thank you, Chase, for not encouraging my hypochondria freaking out behavior.
I just knew it wasn't the right time or the place or...
The moment for me. Exactly. You know it. I did get really sick for like 3 days, but I am good now. I am here.
You are now fully vaccinated.
I am fully vaccinated. I'm good.
It's great. And we celebrated on Sunday. Like I said, still full.
Yes.
I'm ready for this episode, though. I feel like we have so much to talk about.
We literally just have to do it right now. We're jumping into hot takes.
We have to because we had, I would say, a pretty big hot take. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills trailer dropped.
Finally.
And we've been waiting for that. As y'all knew last week, we were duped by Andy Cohen. We thought that was the announcement, but we got it.
We got it. And what did you think?
I like the trailer.
Okay.
I don't believe anything's gonna happen though.
Okay, that's the thing. And that's what like a lot of people are saying, like online obviously.
Yeah.
Like, okay, like this is a really explosive trailer. It looks like Erica is gonna be talking about it a lot, but how much are we really gonna get?
But I feel like Erica is gonna talk about it, but only in a self-serving way.
Oh, well, she's not going to get on because it's an active case too. As long as she's going to get on and like incriminate herself in any way.
Of course. But it's like, but then why even are we talking about it? Because it's like all it is going to be spun as like an Erica sob story of her marriage of like 20, 30 plus years, and she knew nothing about her husband's business doings. I'm sorry, I don't believe you can be that head in the sand about your life.
And Erica's a smart gal.
Exactly, and she always claims her whole thing. All previous seasons, like when she first came on, was like, I'm a strong woman. I know what my man's doing. I'm here with my man. We stand side by side in life, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, are y'all still standing side by side?
Now she's like, I never knew a single thing he was doing.
Exactly.
I was not involved in any way. I don't even know this man. I've never met this man.
You know that's where she's going to go at some
100%.
point. You know it.
Well, what else did you think?
Let's start from, like, I would say I wrote a couple of notes kind of just like through the trailer. So it starts off with the whole Erica like mystery. Obviously, the whole thread of the trailer in the season is going to be the
Erica's lawsuit.
So it does start with that. There was one funny scene or funny moment whenever they were all looking at jewelry. It was like Kyle and them. They're like, "It's $1 million, blah blah blah." And Kyle was like, "Can y'all help me pay for it?" And Erica was like, "How about you chip into my legal fund?" I was like, "You do need help, girl."
Oh my god, yes.
So that was interesting. We see Kathy.
Yes, we do. Oh, we see Kathy in a lampshade hat, by the way. What was this hat she was wearing? It's probably like a $500,000 hat.
Pilgrim or like Amish hat.
It was a choice. It was like Little House on the Prairie.
There you go. nod to Kyle.
Exactly. I think someone made that meme, so that's not my original thought. I'm going to be very clear on that. Someone made it.
Well, whoever that was, smart.
Hilarious. Yeah, there was, we meet new housewife Crystal in it. I think that she is going to bring some seriously good, young, fresh energy.
I think so too.
I'm excited.
I think so is Kathy. Like,
for sure.
Not young or fresh, but actually fresh. Okay, that was right. I'm not trying.
Oh my god.
That was me. I didn't mean to age shame her. But Crystal's clearly much younger.
I think she's 35, so that's like she's young.
Yeah, and then Kathy comes in and it's like, I feel like she gives kind of like the matriarchal kind of vibe, which is what I love about it, because she's going to come in. We know she's rich as hell. We know she's connected. Paris Hilton, all of that. We know all of that. So she can easily walk in and be like, these girls are nothing to me.
Do you wonder?
You know what I mean?
Well, even my sister is nothing to me. Oh my god, the moment where she said it's because Kim changed her number, and Kim clearly didn't tell Kyle that she had changed her number. I was like, ugh.
Kyle's very out of the loop. And we can see why. Kyle's not... Kyle thinks she's the star and the most likable, but usually when you think that, you're not.
Kyle is very, and I think it's fine because I think she's a great mom. I think she's good, all that. I would love to like hang out with her, but at the end of the day, she is very like self-serving. Like, it was going to be about me. I'm going to be the star. So I wonder how she felt about her sister coming on, her other sister, and B, I wonder why Kathy finally decided to do it. Because I'm sure they've had a billion like reality show offers.
Well, you know that at the beginning of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, it was supposed to be them three.
Oh, I didn't know.
It wasn't even supposed to be a housewife show. It was supposed to be like Richard's sister kind of show. I did not know that. That was the whole like original premise, and it started off as them three, and then I think Kathy backed out, and then that's how it kind of like spun more into like it turned into the Housewives, because it was supposed to. I didn't know that. No. Yeah, so it was supposed to be that. So they've clearly been talking to Kathy for a long time.
I just wonder why she finally decided.
I don't know. I really wonder. We'll have to look into that. So I wonder if she said something about that yet in like an interview. I don't know.
I feel like doing press, she's going to be asked that question and she's going to have to answer it.
Yeah. So we see her, and then we meet Crystal.
And her leather pants.
And I was going to say, I liked her leather pants.
I did too. You know me, I love a leather pants.
And she like turned around and had like kind of like a smirk, and I'm like, yeah, you know your leather pants look great.
I was waiting for her to respond with, they're Louis Vuitton. And then I wanted Sutton to respond with, well, even Louis Vuitton makes mistakes. Like, oh my god, I should make this meme. Like, did I just have a thought?
Yes, you did. No one, it's copyrighted.
No one take that. I'm going to work on this before this episode airs, okay?
But I do think that Sutton is coming in pretty hot. Like, she's fighting with Crystal, clearly. She's going to fight with Erica.
Can we talk about Sutton's legs? They're just the tiniest little things on the planet.
She had little legs. And she always wears those, like, flare-out
boxy dresses.
So it's, like, it really highlights how skinny her legs are. Maybe she likes them.
She's got the legs of my fiance. You've seen Julian's legs. He has skinny legs.
So this is only a compliment.
So I love a skinny leg. Don't have them, but love them.
Don't tell Gen Z that, because they're trying to cancel skinny jeans.
Oh, are they really?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
Oh, yeah, I think I did see that.
Yeah, we're both canceled.
But, sorry, they're also trying to bring back low-rise jeans. And, ma'am, come on. No. You don't
allow that.
No.
But then we get to see Lisa Rinna's storyline for the season.
You mean whenever she planted her daughter Amelia to FaceTime her and say, I'm going with Scott.
Yeah, like, that wasn't planned at all.
That was the fakest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, because then we see Kyle later be like, he's double her age and has 3 kids. What the hell? And Lisa's like, and I'm like, oh my god, you're literally going to have a storyline based off your daughter this season? It's so sad.
It's so annoying.
You know this. I'm not a Lisa Rinna fan.
Hello, you know I'm not either.
Okay, I like that she causes drama.
But she needs to be the first one all season. If this is her thing, own it, own it, own it. She better be putting a mirror up to Erica's face every time she can and say, you need to own this, you need to own this. Because she cannot be biased with it, because it's already annoying enough, and we'll see how it goes.
We'll see how it goes. And then what do we... Oh, of course, we end the trailer on Erica...
Angry Jane.
Yeah.
Erica Angry Jane. She is screaming at Sutton, and Sutton's just like, like she looks in actual shock.
I think
Erica gets vicious.
She does, but I think it's also like, what is it? Like, there's nothing behind it. I think she's all talk and no bite.
You think it's going to be like the Hong Kong like situation when she freaked out and...
Yeah, and she can't, like, what? She's threatening her. She's like, you don't do that to me. I'll come for you. And I'm like...
You want another lawsuit?
Yeah, it's like, you're the one with the skeletons in the closet, obviously, girl.
Exactly.
So you should be careful who you're coming after.
But we will see how it goes. I mean, are you more optimistic or pessimistic? What do you think?
If this says anything, I wrote in my notes, guys, I think that's it for this season. This is probably the most entertaining part.
So Chase is very pessimistic. I'm going to stay optimistic.
Good. I like that.
Because I do like Beverly Hills still. And I don't know. There's just something early Beverly Hills that just gives me like the nostalgia. Like when we watch it back then, that was just everything. I need them to try to like re-channel that energy. When drama was real and maybe bringing Kathy in.
I was going to say, I think Kathy may bring in, not necessarily just real drama, but like back to the roots of Beverly Hills. When it's just like, rich women just truly like showing off like how rich they are.
Crystal too, because she's like
Crystal
rich
too. So it's like, I think we'll see more of that, or it'll still be drama. We need a little drama, of course, but it's like, I'm just entertained by watching them live a life that is so unimaginable.
Yeah.
And Kathy brings that.
And sure. Kathy brings the fantasy.
She does.
For sure. So we'll see.
We'll see. I'm excited for it though.
I am excited too.
Because I think we were talking about this, but we'll be having, I think, is it Beverly Hills on Tuesdays and New York on Wednesdays?
New York's on Tuesdays and Beverly Hills is on Wednesdays.
So we have back-to-back solid shows.
This is like our like dream. We love this.
I know. It's so exciting. And they're both starting in like 3 weeks, I think.
I think that New York is the first week of May, and then I think Beverly Hills is the third.
Yeah, I think it's the 19th.
Okay, so the third week of May.
Yeah, so May 4th, I believe, and May 19th is Beverly Hills.
Yeah, May 4th. May the 4th be with you is what everyone keeps saying on New York. So
Great.
It is going to be that day.
So excited.
But should we jump into another trailer we got? We got the Family Karma trailer.
Okay. I'm a Family Karma stan. Yes. Like, I loved it so much.
I recently started watching it, and I am loving it. So this trailer came out, and I was like, oh my god, this is so good. I am finishing it, and I am so excited to start the new season.
Yeah, and it's crazy because it seems like the first season came out so long ago, but it was literally at the beginning of COVID. I think it was like
last March,
April or May it came out, so we got it like when that started. So it was kind of a time where it was like, I needed something light, I needed something entertaining, and I needed kind of like a family show. It just like reminded me that we're all in this together. And that's what Family Karma gives you, because that's what I think is so genius about the show, is that it's kids, aunts, parents, grandparents. And it's not that like the parents just come in and out. Everyone's an integral part of the show.
Which is awesome.
And it's amazing.
Yeah.
And it's truly like seeing a culture of like how family does play such a big part in like the drama or just your day-to-day life. Well, I think and
this
like,
is why
pressures.
I struggled.
It's great.
I didn't start watching it when it first came out, guys, because I was so obsessed with Mexican Dynasties, which had a similar kind of vibe. It was families, it was like parents, it was grandparents, it was all of that. I was so obsessed with Mexican Dynasties. And then Bravo took it from us and never gave us a second season. And I still cry about this to this day. So I was like, what if I get invested in Family Karma and they don't give it to me for a second season? So now that we have a second season, I am all in. I'm finishing it. Great. And I am so excited.
And you are just starting it now, correct?
I've watched 2 episodes.
And you said you're in.
Yes. Oh, I'm so in. Yes.
Because if you haven't watched it, definitely recommend a binge. It's a good binge. Because obviously a first season's going to
like 8 episodes.
Be a little slow. And it's only 8 episodes.
Yeah.
But it just gives you the right amount of drama. And also, again, it's just the fun family dynamic of it all. Like multiple families, multiple generations, and everyone brings it. It's so great.
I love that. I sound like Lisa Barlow. I love that.
It's all I think about. Every time I say I love that, and I say it a lot more often than I care to admit.
I'm like, we've had so much fun with these hot takes that we're going to head into the next one that I think that, I don't know if we thought this day would ever come, but Jax Taylor has a son.
You should be careful. I'm going to sue you if you...
Oh, sorry. Y'all know we've been blocked by Brittany for absolutely no reason.
It's like one of the only like not fan clubs, but like I'm happy.
Yes.
Groups, because, you know, I love to be a part of that group because so many people on Instagram are blocked by Brittany or Jax for no reason.
And what do they think? Like, whenever they block people, do they not realize that, like, you still can see everything they post? Like, you can, like, log out, go to a different account and go see what they're doing. Or you can just, like, if they're on public, you can still just go see it if you, like, Google their account.
Well, what I don't get is, like, usually you block people because you don't want to see their stuff. But why would they see the reality wind down on her feed?
It's not like I understand blocking someone if you're getting on and like commenting like, oh my god, you're so this, you're so that, like y'all are this, y'all are that. We don't say a single freaking word.
No, we just kind of like talk regularly about them in the sense of like, we don't love them, but we don't like say anything bad.
Maybe she's listening to the podcast then, and she
maybe, honestly, girl, if you are,
hi Brett,
don't unblock us.
I mean,
don't give a shit.
congratulations on your baby. I'm glad you had a healthy baby. All looks good, but I just cannot believe that Jax Taylor has a number one guy in this group now.
And also, he has 80,000, or his baby has 80,000 followers. I'm sorry, guys. I love you to death, and I love the Bravo universe to death, but if you're one of those 80,000 followers...
Why?
Can
you, send us a... why?
I want to know why. Is it... maybe it's just keep into the gossip, because... Not the gossip, because what are you gossiping about a baby?
Yeah, exactly. And, he
maybe
posted
be in the know?
Jax Taylor posted a thing on his story today. It was people are already trying to, create fake little baby couchy accounts. We only have one account for our son, so if you're not following this one, it's not the right one. I was who out there is making fake baby couchy accounts?
See, the reason... Okay, I'm all for you follow whoever, because I follow weird shit too. So if that's get your life, if that's what you're into.
Yeah, for sure.
But the reason why I won't is because they're going to try to spin that into ad money.
That's all it is.
Exactly.
It's not the baby's on there posting a selfie.
I'm not supporting that.
Oh, they're doing Pampers ads. They're going to be doing juice ads. They for sure.
And that's
the only reason
why I won't give a follow, because I'm not into it.
We'll just continue on this little rant. We'll jump into our next hot take. Bethenny Frankel is doing stand-up. That's the tweet.
A moment of silence for the comedic community.
I mean, I wonder how Ariana Madix feels about this, because she takes comedy very seriously.
And honestly, I stand by Ariana Madix if she's mad.
I mean,
what is Bethenny doing? See, you know what? Actually, not what is she doing? I know exactly what she's doing. She's desperate to stay on the spotlight.
TV and relevant, so she keeps doing things.
She's trying to stay relevant.
Her tweeting her outlandish things when she was posting about Megan and saying all these horrible things. It's she's literally doing anything she can to stay in the spotlight. And I understand that, she had a presence when she was on New York. That was a little bit snarky,
that was her platform.
But, she was snarky, sarcastic, and she sometimes was funny. But none of what she ever said and did on New York is worthy of a stand-up show.
No, and I also think most of Bethenny's comedy was rooted in, meanness.
Yes, it's snarky.
So it's, but snarky can be, lighthearted, kind of, shady.
Yeah, but that's, being shady is still at the end of the day.
She's just mean.
Sometimes being shady, though, at the end of the day, you're still having mean undertones.
That's true. You're not wrong.
So it's but I don't see.
I just never see, I like the rise of Bethenny, but I think once Bethenny made it, her true self came out and was I don't have to, be nice to people anymore.
Well, be nice. I like how you did that.
God.
I like how you did that. But no, you're not wrong.
I haven't been Team Bethenny for a long time.
The most annoying thing about her to me, even with her business and stuff, you would think that she was the first ever person that started a business. The way she would talk. If anyone else tried to do anything, it was oh God, you're just doing this. You don't know what you're doing with business. You don't know, how, oh God, did you trademark that? Did you do this? It was other people can start businesses. People do it every day. People have loads of... You're not the only successful business person.
And it's amazing that you did, but it doesn't make you the end-all, be-all when it comes to,
Did you do it again? The end-all, be-all?
I can't... It's just... you know what? I should be a stand-up comedian, because you know what? It just rolls off my tongue.
She has intercepted your brain. And you're now... She's such a marketing genius. She's in your brain, and now you just... Every time you drop something, it's about Bethenny.
I just see Be Strong in front of my eyes. Those little things you got...
It just says Be Strong. A Listerine strip.
This is a Be Strong crop top.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Oh my God.
I actually am. Hold on. You podcast can't see it, but I am wearing...
Oh my God, you are wearing Bethany!
I am, actually.
Guys, he's... Stop, lean forward. We have to clear... Look at the camera. Guys, he actually has Bethany on his shirt. This is not a drill. This is not a drill.
Guys, if y'all go to our YouTube, you can see my tits.
Oh my God, guys, he's actually wearing a Bethany shirt. This is not a drill.
I forgot about it until
this is that. Terrifying. Oh my God. Okay, I can't with this. I'm scared now that Bethany is listening and is here. So we're moving on to our next hot take. It's actually sad. We have to mention that Luann's dog passed away. Little Aston. But 15 years old. Unexpected, but he had a good life. I'm just sad that some of these Bravo dogs are dying, Jiggy.
Well, it's wild. We've been with them so long that the dogs are kind of they're 15 years old. That's wild and a good life for a dog. Oh, and we're hitting that point where all of our house dogs are unfortunately passing away.
I mean, I think Coco's still alive. Ramona's dog.
Coco is never gonna die.
She's 27.
Yeah, exactly. She's just
age.
like Ramona though. Ramona will live till she's 125.
Ageless by Ramona.
Yeah. Somehow it will just happen. But I was just kind of thinking that I feel like Aston was very an underrated house dog of New York, because like we always saw like Cookie, obviously. We see Coco Biggie Smalls, like, you know, they were just like
Tinsley's
dogs, Strawberry and Shortcake, like we saw them a lot. And I truly just think like if Aston ever met like Cookie or Coco, like they would have bullied him. So I think they
like probably did meet at things,
and
though.
I feel like they were mean to him. I made up this in my mind.
Stop. Let's be honest. Aston was like a little like bad bitch. Like I was so here for him. He was
classy, just like his mom.
Classy as hell.
Yeah. And he was named after an Aston Martin.
I was about to say he's literally like has like the like chicest name you can have.
Which is funny because whenever they first got the dog, her son like asked like, I want to name him Aston. Like, and then we'll get another one and name it Martin to complete the name.
And the man didn't want to take on 2 dogs, let's be honest. No, I was like, was this when her son was breakdancing? Because, you know, I live for that scene.
Stop. That's my favorite scene.
I'm like, I need to post a throwback of that on our Instagram.
Yes, because that is a highlight of New York.
I just, like, you know, he cringes thinking, like, that's what he should do. Waking up in the morning, thinking about so many things. And then, like, flash to that where he's dancing.
Stop giving all your ideas away on our podcast.
Okay, I have to say these things, though, because then I need to refresh my mind, because I'll be like, oh my god, I knew I was going to make something. What was it?
Good thing you have a couple days, because, like, we obviously have to edit this, so we'll give you some time.
I'm like, as you're editing, please text me the things that I've said on this so I can create them,
You're like, oh, I completely forgot about that. Great.
Yes.
I wanted to say one last thing. Yes. One last hot take that's not Bravo universe related, but it's gay male related, and I don't know if y'all knew, but I am a gay male myself.
I don't know if you guys are watching on our YouTube, but Chase is a gay male.
If you didn't already know, you can see what I'm wearing.
Honestly, like, if you haven't gone, and like, I love when people listen, obviously, keep listening, download, subscribe. But, like, our YouTube is, like, really fun, and, like, we'll put in some clips of things sometimes, but I just really need y'all to see what Chase is wearing today.
It's actually pretty awesome.
It is, like you said earlier, it's very Moira Rose.
Earlier?
Did I say earlier?
You did, but guys, I liked it.
We were filming something earlier, and I was trying to say Oklahoma, and I said Oklahoma, like, 27 times, and I don't know what's wrong with me today.
It's great.
It's the J&J.
But yeah, it's in her now.
I also couldn't open up a bottle of tea, so maybe my arm's not working either. We're not sure. But go get the vaccine still. I don't care. I don't care if my arm doesn't work.
For sure. And also, back to my outfit. It's great, so go check out our YouTube.
And back to your story about Colton Gayman.
Love it. Sorry, I got...
Colton Underwood.
The gay brain.
The gay brain took over. The gain.
Not the gain.
Not the gain.
But yes, that guy. So, okay, you know, great. I love everyone living their truth.
Yes.
And this is not a slight on him living his truth. But you know how Hollywood works. You know, a hot, gay, white male comes out. And now we have talks that there is a Netflix show in the works with Gus Kentworthy, another very stereotypical, like, gay, masculine, presenting
Well, because he was an Olympic athlete, right, Gus Kentworthy?
Yeah, he's a skier,
Yeah. So I think, like, he's like, well, I'm an athlete and I'm out, so he's going to try to, like, mentor him or something, like, as being an out athlete.
Quote-unquote gay guide.
What does that even mean?
I don't know, because, like, I understand, like, oh, like, you meet people whenever you first come out, and they kind of, like, introduce you to, like, oh, like, this is kind of, like...
Right.
But the thing is, there's no right way to do it. You're just human. You figure out what your interests and likes are and stuff, too. It's good to
have friends, obviously, that are, like
I think people introduce you to stuff that you wouldn't otherwise know.
Yeah.
But, like, a show based around two masculine gay men, teaching one how to be gay. It's not that, but you know what I mean? It's just kind of like...
Don't lie, you'll watch it.
What is this?
I know you'll tune in just to see what it's like.
Will I turn my lights off at night, lay in bed...
And try it.
And try other things while watching it? Maybe.
No!
But...
I love it.
But it's only for me to judge.
I also, like, my thing with it is, like, it's great that he's come out in this situation, but, like... He did, like, stalk his ex. Like, that thing... Did you read that?
No.
So, the girl that he, like, chose, and then she left on the Bachelor... I watched a season, and I don't remember it, to be honest with you. I mean, I remember the Billy Eichner scene that you sent, where, like, Billy Eichner basically predicted... I don't know, it's going around everywhere. It's, like, viral right now. If you haven't
seen it, just look up
Billy Eichner on Twitter. Yeah. It's basically when he says, what if you're gay? What if you're the first gay bachelor? And that's why you're
he's like... Colton's like... Ugh.
Yeah, his eyes are like, oh, no. But the girl he picked, and then she left, and then she came back. They ended up getting together, dating for, like, a year, I'd say. And he... I guess they broke up. speculations now are like maybe she knew that he was gay, maybe they had a conversation. Then he started stalking her, and he put a tracking device on her car.
Okay,
and
wild.
He was trying to like, so I don't know if he was just, and that's another thing that needs to be discussed. Like, toxic masculinity has created to where he can't feel like free. Like, you know what? Like, I want to be able to talk about this. It's just like, I'm so scared that she's going to say something or it's going to come out. I have to literally stalk her, and you know what I mean?
See,
like,
so my, like, with that's what I was going to actually say something similar. Not similar, but like, in the, like, that you can't be excused for that behavior.
Right.
That's obviously bad, and that's also traumatizing to her. Totally understand that. But I think because he was, like, so worried about coming out or being perceived as gay, that he was clinging on to her so much because it was his last, probably ditch effort to be like, I'm a straight man, blah, blah. So it turns into, like, crazy like tendencies because you're just trying to, like, hold on to something. And it's like, I relate to that in a way where it's like, oh, whenever, like, I was in the closet, it's like, you do stuff that it's, like, very out of character because you're like, I don't want people to know my secret, my truth, whatever. But
no, the second I heard that
should
story,
be addressed. It should still be addressed.
No, the second I heard that story, because I wasn't even familiar with the stalking stuff or whatever, but the second I heard this and this came like full circle, that's exactly where my brain went. I was like, it makes sense that we've created such a horrible, there's so many still unaccepting people out there that he felt like he needed to keep clinging on to it, like you said. So
I just think I would have loved to see a show where it's more like Jonathan Van Ness showing him like kind of like a gay guide in some ways. It's like, oh, we can make this light, we can make this fun.
Okay, you know, you just said this. Now they're gonna do an episode of Queer Eye where they take Colton. Like, you just like, I know he doesn't need to be like made over or anything, but they're gonna do it, and like Karamo is going to help him get in touch with himself.
And I would prefer that.
I would too.
The thing is, like, if you are masculine, just because masculine is such an annoying word. If you're like into sports and you know, all of that as a gay man, amazing. If that's your authentic self. I just don't think that, like, as like a lot of closeted gay men are worried about coming out because they don't want to be perceived as feminine, even though that's a completely acceptable thing and it doesn't fucking matter at all. I think it's just perpetuating, like, oh, you're a better gay man if you're masculine leaning.
Right. And
so I wanted to kind of like bring both. It's like, if Colton's a masculine, athletic, like strong sports guy, bring in someone that's kind of like more, feminine. I don't know, feminine and kind of just like more, just different. So it brings two like kind of different people like, together.
If it like, and Gus was on it too, like that's fine. Yeah, but then bring in, like you say, someone else, or like just like do a special on Queer Eye with him. I don't know if he needs. Or maybe just like
don't do a show with him.
Yeah, but let's be honest, he's not gonna let himself die on the spotlight like that. Yeah. But anyways, that was our hot takes for this week. I feel like that was a lot.
Yeah, sorry guys. We just had a lot to talk about.
I hope you guys enjoyed all of them.
I just feel like a lot has been happening.
It's like some weeks we have no hot takes and nothing happens. This week it was like something after the other, after the other, after the other, and I was like, we got too much to talk about.
And how can you not talk about trailers? I mean, so exciting.
Of course.
So,
should we get into this week's game?
I think we should.
Okay, this week's game is called Guess the House Kid. And I feel like that sounds easy in theory. If someone was like, oh, hey, what's Ramona's daughter's name? You'd be like, Avery. Like, duh, everyone's going to get that one right. But I think we've both gone a little more obscure. We've made the questions for each other. Neither one of us have seen them. And you don't get any points unless you get all of their kids right.
Ooh!
So, like, so if I tell you, like, what's Luann's children, and then you say only Victoria, then you don't get a point if you don't remember her son's name. Okay, should we start?
Yeah, I want you to ask me first.
Okay. The first I have for you is Emily Simpson from Orange County.
Ooh! Already don't know!
You don't know any of them?
No, but I know she has a daughter and...
Are you trying to look at my paper right now?
No.
I see
Through your glass?
I had it a little bit
to the left. Triangulates from your glass to your paper.
What if it was like reflecting off my tits right now and I had no idea? It's just like showing you the entire thing.
Tits have been coming out.
No. Yeah, they keep busting through the shirt, guys. So I feel like if any of you see it, let me know in the comments so I can fix it. like I can go back in time and fix my top.
I love that.
Like I can't.
Click like and I'll know that my...
Click like if you saw a titty. Cheers.
Okay, anyways, back to the house.
Yes,
kids.
Emily Simpson. Oh, back to children. Oh my god, I'm sorry. That was actually really terrible. Okay, and cut. No, I'm kidding.
I don't know. I can see her daughter, and she has like 2 twin sons, right?
Yes.
Don't know their names at all.
Okay, Annabelle is the daughter.
Okay.
And I know, that's why it sticks out to me, because I
Yikes.
think about the Annabelle
the
doll that, like, escaped. You know, it escaped recently. Or, like, last year, no, the real doll escaped from the museum it was at.
So you're telling me
the Annabelle
it opened a goddamn door.
Yes.
And it walked right out.
Yes, I'm not joking.
So that bitch can be walking down my street right now.
Annabelle escaped in 2020. This is a true story. Look it up. It's like as if 2020
That's
couldn't get it
fitting.
worse.
Exactly.
Annabelle escaped. I don't know if they found her. I hope they found her.
So is she the reason why coronavirus happened?
And basically Annabelle's, not Emily's Annabelle, but Annabelle the doll. And her boys are named Luke and Keller. All right, no points. Next question for me.
We need to move on.
That took such a hard left. I'm like, okay.
Okay, are you ready?
I think.
Sheree Whitfield.
Oh, God, I have no idea.
You have to know her
I
son's
know Cairo.
name.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, Cairo is like the hottest guy of all time.
Exactly. I was going to be upset if you didn't know Cairo.
Because she has 2 daughters.
Yeah. Because you actually made it harder, because I was going to be like, oh, you can just name one kid. But now I'm into this.
Yeah,
both
now
kids.
I feel like
Actually, both 2 other kids.
It's so funny because I watched the episode recently where her oldest daughter went like, she was gonna get engaged to her like boyfriend.
Yeah, because that could have been a trick question, because you really only think of like Cairo and the other daughter, but her oldest daughter. But you watched the episode, so it's interesting you don't remember her name.
I don't remember the other daughter either.
So Kaylee is
I knew that.
And I didn't write it down because I was gonna because I thought we could just like pick one. I was like, the oldest daughter we're never gonna know, but I think it was
Brittany.
Tara. It started with a T or T.
Oh, you didn't write it down.
I didn't write it down. No.
Oh,
but it starts with a T. Because I did look it up.
Is it Tiara?
I think it is Tiara.
I think it is Tiara. Well, either way, I wouldn't have gotten
Yeah.
Kaylee. I can't believe I didn't remember Kaylee. Because she's on it some, but she's so quiet.
She is quiet, and honestly, once you see Cairo, who else are you going to think about?
That's also true. Okay, are you ready for your next one?
Yes.
Whitney Rose from Salt Lake.
I honestly forget she has children.
I kind of do too until I go to her Instagram and she has
and her
a son and a daughter.
A son and a daughter. The daughter's redhead, right?
Yes.
Random. I wonder if she's redheaded, but like dyes her hair blonde.
I think the daughter looks a lot like the dad. I think that she probably takes after, because he has like grayish hair though. So
but
I think
also
that he
don't know.
I was like, oh, interesting. Also, just tell me. Okay, Bobby and Brooks. Can you believe she has a son named Brooks? Yes.
Oh my god.
I know.
Oh, I wish we could give clues, because you're like the most hated house kid in the history.
From
Brooks.
Chase's brain, especially.
That's my vote.
Okay.
Okay, well, your next question. Dina Manzo.
Oh my god, why can't I think of her name?
You have to know this. I feel like we've talked about her. Yes.
I was going to say, I know her Instagram name was like Little Tricky or something.
Yeah, because I gave you like 2 that I think you would know. And I was like, Lexi, for sure, I thought you would know. Because her carrying around that hairless cat all the time, how can you forget?
Oh, Grandma Wrinkles.
Yeah, oh my god, that's such a cute name, actually.
I stan. Okay, are you ready for your next one?
Yes.
Kyle Richards.
Oh, my. Alexia, Portia, Farrah, Alexia, Portia, Farrah. Oh my god. Alexia, Portia, Farrah. And she has 1 more or 2 more?
1.
1 more?
I always think she has 5 kids too, so it's funny you said that.
Is it an A? I mean, you can't really tell me, but Alexia, because it's the one that's, I always think is the youngest, but she's actually like the oldest. Damn it, I don't know. I can't think of her name.
Sophia.
That's actually not what I was thinking at all.
I know. I didn't, like, I always remember Alexia, Farrah, and Portia too. And then, like, I wrote Sophia last, but I think she's, like, the second youngest. Or is she the youngest?
I always thought she was the old...
No, I think she's the second youngest.
I think Alexia is the oldest.
Yeah. Well, Farrah's the
besides
oldest.
Farrah, yeah. Oh,
okay.
damn.
You
Hey, I was
good
close.
On that one, though. You're close.
Okay. Luann de Lesseps.
Oh, and we just said this as an example, and I had no idea he'd written it for me. Noelle and Victoria.
Yeah. I don't know why I wrote Noelle.
Maybe he spells it like that. Who knows? Who knows?
That's his breakdancing name.
Oh my god, what if it was like no apostrophe Ellie? That's his breakdance name.
But you are correct.
Okay, you're next, son. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Cameron Westcott.
Cameron Westcott. She has a cruise, right?
Yes.
In Hilton.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so we're 1-1 right now.
No, I got 2.
Wait, you have which the other one?
I got Lexi and.
Oh, Lexi.
Luann.
Yes, you did. Okay. So your next one, Drew Sidora.
I could not tell you.
That was your hardest one.
I have no idea.
So it's Makai and Anaya.
Makai and Anaya. Does she have another kid?
She might.
But either way, I didn't know any of them, so it doesn't matter.
The one that I was mainly, like, going to ask you for was the son, just because he's had, like, his own scenes.
And she said, I can remember now Anaya, because she'll be like, Nai when she calls her, so I should have remembered that.
But that was going to be your hardest, so I was like, okay, a new housewife, that's tough.
Okay, your next one. Are you ready? Mm-hmm. Bronwyn, Wyndham, Burke.
Okay, bye, bitch.
I'm just kidding. I was going to give him that one, but I was like, I'm not going to give him someone that has 7 kids.
Kyle already had 4. That's enough.
I was going to say, if you got all 7 of them right, I was going to give you the victory and let you win the whole game. But it's impossible. Good things,
it was never going to happen.
But
and you also know my thoughts about Bronwyn. I would never learn her children's names.
Just for fun, her kids' names are Bella, Rowan, Jacob, Curran, Caden, Koa, and Hazel. But your real last question is Dorit Kemsley.
Oh, I don't even know their names.
This is what I thought you would get.
I know, which I should, because we always, like...
talk about Dorit.
Yeah, and her kids.
And they're so cute.
And they're adorable. I'm not going to waste time, because I could keep thinking on it, but I don't know.
Jagger and Phoenix.
Yes,
She's always like, Jagger, baby.
I was really trying to think of the accent, and I was like, she has an accent, she doesn't have an accent. I always think of, like, when she walks in, she's like, baby!
Yes, Jagger, my baby! I'm like, oh my god, I love...
So you do win, but you do get one more question.
Oh, I got a bonus?
No, because you asked first.
Oh, I did?
Yeah.
I blacked out.
Wow, man. Not the J&J
creeping
back in.
Not the J&J. My arm's just creeping down.
Okay, your last one. Kelly Ben Simone.
Teddy.
Mm-hmm.
And C?
Yeah!
Yes!
So I didn't know, because I knew, like,
and we've watched
if you watched it recently. Exactly. That's why I was like, I think she might get this, but it's a little hard.
Well, I remember when she was making food, like, in the kitchen, and Luann came over to, like, make him, like, cook healthy or something. Like, they hired this guy. And, like, her kids are being so sweet and respectful the whole time, but she keeps being like, don't do that, don't do that. And Luann was like, your kids are very well behaved. Like, let up on them. And I was like, Luann telling her to let up on her kids, like, that to me was hilarious.
Right?
I was like, because usually she'd be like, cross your legs, do this, do that, do that. So the fact that she was like, they're really good kids, let them be. I was like, iconic.
Yeah. And also just C and Teddy. They're really, like, unique names.
They're, like, kind of cute, too.
I like them.
C is short for something, I think. It's like, I don't know. It's short for... I was going to say Seamus. C for short. But that's definitely not it.
Seamus?
Like, Seamus is spelled Seamus usually.
Do you know a person named Seamus?
Well, I mean, I actually do. I know an Irish person named Seamus.
Okay, wow.
But they're actually, like, from Ireland, so it makes
sense.
You
know?
Don't know. And he's from Wisconsin.
Oh, I thought that was Irish.
Don't you know? I mean, you sound a little bit more Wisconsin to me, or Minnesota. You sound like Luke from Summer House.
Oh, God. Oh, God, that was hard. But, like,
that was hard, and I thought it would be hard.
It's funny, because, like, when you say the names, it clicks into my head. But it's like, I could pretty much picture all of the kids. I just... Yeah.
Did it click into your head whenever I said Bella, Rowan, Jacob, Curran, Caden, Cohen, Hazel?
No, that was a blur.
That was a lot.
A blissful blur, because I don't want to know.
A blissful blur. Well, on that note, I think it's time to jump into our shows this week. We should start with a little bit of Dallas.
I'm ready.
Okay, so everyone's getting ready for the redneck races, and we hear a little... That's my impression of a knock.
A knock.
We hear a little knock on the door. Well, I don't want to wind the dogs up. I don't want to get him very excited.
True.
That's
we'll
my little
excited.
attempt at a knock. But Charles the Bigfoot Hunter is back, and you could just tell that Carrie's heart like fell into her ass. She was like, okay. But they have a little chat, and Carrie gives probably the worst apology I've ever seen in my life.
Because at first, I was going to give her props, because he walks in the door, and she's obviously a little uncomfortable.
Yes.
But she immediately goes up to him and says, like, oh, I want to talk to you, I want to apologize. So, like, okay, good. She's going to just, tell him sorry, like, it's all going to be fine. This girl does not know how to apologize.
She was only apologizing because Stephanie was upset. And
yes.
She pretty much said that. And my heart was breaking for Charles the Bigfoot Hunter, okay? He was like, oh, I just want to apologize too because, I left and I was thinking, like, did I do something wrong to offend you? I was like, sir, stop. You did nothing wrong. You did nothing wrong.
And he was so, like, soft-spoken and sweet. And it's just like... Yeah, don't apologize.
Don't apologize. You're fine. But he's going to stay for dinner, and he's going to be the referee for the redneck games. And I was like, oh, that's so cute.
It was really cute, but also, like, kind of weird that he was back, to be honest.
I mean, we get into it in a minute, a part that I thought was actually iconic. But we do the races. They're all just, like, stupid little camp games.
So they are... The titles of the games were... Swing Your Ding-a-ling.
Yes, which these are church camp games, by the way,
Which
guys.
is exactly what I said. These were very sexual games. I'm just letting you know.
A lot.
If y'all didn't see it, essentially one was a baseball hanging in some pantyhose and you swing it like your balls, try to knock something over. Another game was called plunger toilet paper game. Very simple.
Yes.
But you take the toilet paper between your legs and the plunger between your legs and try to fit the pole of the plunger into the hole of the toilet paper.
Oh, it's very very suggestive.
And then tug of war over some shaving cream.
I have to say, I know that, like, Cameron is annoying and she seems contrived on a lot of things, but whenever she dove into that whipped cream stuff, like, premature, because she thought that was the part,
pretty hilarious, I
lost it. I rewound, like,
just because it was
times.
so dumb.
She was so, like, it shows her in slow motion swinging the balls, and she took the step in slow motion. It shows her, like, the most uneventful slide. And they were like, you aren't supposed to do that. You're supposed to go stand on the side. And the losing team goes into that. And she was like, oh, well, I wasn't listening when she was doing
Clearly.
the rules. That absolutely killed me. But, team... Who is it? Carrie, Deandra, and Stephanie.
Yeah.
Won. And they got the golden toilet bowl. What is it? A toilet seat.
Toilet seat. There you go. Golden toilet seat.
A toilet bowl. It was like killing them. They put the whole thing on their head. They put it around their head, and they were very sore winners, I have to say. They were screaming in the other girls' faces, rubbing it in.
I mean, the other girls were also spoilers. Like, these were stupid games.
Honestly, that's me
they
when
were
I
actually. But also, they were stupid games.
They were stupid.
Okay, there was one thing that I just thought of. I don't know why, but maybe at the beginning of the episode, there was, like, a montage of them, like, talking how they were, like, so in the country and, like, all that stuff. Do you remember that part?
No.
I say this because I just want to remind everyone, if you haven't been to Dallas, if you leave 15 minutes outside of Dallas,
It's
20 minutes, you're in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Same for Houston, same for Austin, same in
for
San Antonio.
most major cities,
so why do
unless
they
you're in, like,
keep
New York?
acting like Oklahoma is so country compared to Texas?
I don't know why. I think
Sorry, that just, like, kept confusing me throughout this, like,
also, they're in, like,
couple
the sickest
episodes.
house. Yeah, exactly. They're pretending like they're literally coming
like,
from, like,
so
Manhattan.
dramatic. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like if they're Real Housewives. The New York girls were saying that. I want to get it a little bit more.
Like when they went to Montana.
But, exactly. But the Dallas girls is like, Texas is one big country state. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I mean, obviously major
cities... And I'm not
cities,
even, like, defending, like, I don't give a shit.
Major cities, like you say, are very different. But Dallas is definitely more country than a lot of major cities. Like, if you think about it, just strictly, like, the culture and the people and stuff.
Well, also, there's very, like, disconnected from every other part of this. Like, every other city in the state is so far from Dallas.
2.5 hour drive, yeah. Like, if we want to get from Houston to Austin, Houston, San Antonio, all the major cities.
Dallas,
2.5 hours.
4.5.
Yeah, it's, like, a thing.
Anyways,
but
I
yes,
just, like,
it's interesting you said that.
Like,
I thought that in the last episode.
All these girls go, like, camping before, like, whatever.
Exactly. But then a big storm is coming in, and I love a summer storm whenever it, like, rains at night and, like, pours. It was loving that. But Stephanie and Brandy decided to try to scare Cam.
Yeah, in the middle of a rainstorm.
In the middle of a rainstorm. So they put on the Bigfoot costumes and go running in. I think everyone was terrified except for Cam. Cam was sat there like, I could tell it was you, Brandy. I could see your hair. I was like, well, that was so uneventful.
It was so uneventful.
Completely.
Well, you know what? That's kind of the whole episode. Very uneventful.
Well, I will say the next part was probably my favorite part of the episode. It's when the girls were dancing in the Bigfoot costume. And then, like, there was, like, an angle. It was almost like when you see, like, a music video, like, from down low. And they're all dancing with Charles the Bigfoot Hunter. Like, in their
twerking
outfits,
on
like,
him.
The rain, they're all twerking on him. That was cracking me up.
They have a group twerk.
Yes, a group. They're, like, teaching him how to twerk. Like, it was, that moment was really fun. But like you say, that was probably the most fun part of the episode.
I guess there was a little nugget in there because Tiffany was like, oh, I'm excited that Brandy's loosening up around me. And, like, I feel like we are finally past the point of where everything's awkward. So, like, that's good, I guess.
I agree. But speaking of Tiffany, she decided that she was going to play a little practical joke and go spray some fart bomb pill thing, whatever she got. And let's just say it did not go over well. She went into Carrie's room. Yeah. Because Carrie was sharing a room with Tiffany. And, oh my God, why can't I think of anyone's name right now? Why am I blacking out?
Cameron, Deandra, Stephanie.
No, and then Cameron is sharing a room with Deandra, right? Or is she sharing with Tiffany?
I honestly don't remember.
I don't know who's sharing rooms, but Carrie got very pissed off that they went into her room and did the fart thing. So she went to the fridge, got the biggest thing of salsa I've ever seen, and dumped it all over Cameron's bed. And Cameron was like, I was not involved in this. Like, how dare you pour it all over my bed?
I thought that was too far.
It was, literally, that could ruin the sheets.
But
and
also,
the quilt.
just like, why? Like, the smoke or stink bomb is
annoying,
whatever. Very annoying, but it's just like, it doesn't, like, ruin a bed or ruin a mattress or, like,
Well, it goes to show when she drinks, she does not go to like that positive of a place.
They were like, this is a problem with her drinking. This is not like a practical joke thing. It's like she always takes it 20 steps too far.
Yes.
And it's like, it's actually becoming a problem.
And at least at this point, though, she did that. It was a whole thing. She did stay up cleaning all night, and she did make it right, and she apologized the next day.
That house was disgusting still the next day,
When they were cleaning the next day, guys, I almost threw up. That was disgusting watching them do that. I was like, how did they make that big of a mess? Like, I couldn't sleep if the house was like that.
I could, but not to that extent. Like, that was
especially when you know you have to clean it up the next day. It's one thing if there's just drinks everywhere in cups. When there's open food and like, I mean, like bugs and like, no.
No, not a fan. Not a fan.
Not for me. But then they go back to Dallas, and Cam got stung by a scorpion when they were leaving.
That was so random.
I thought she was joking when she was telling that story.
Me too, and then they like showed pictures of her arm like swollen up. I was like, ooh, okay, well.
Apparently it was a non-venomous one, I guess.
Yeah,
Which I didn't even know that, like, I don't know levels of scorpions.
Yeah, I mean, I also thought, like, anytime you got stung, like, there's still some sort of, like, poison in you.
Yeah, because clearly if it made your arm swell up and red, there was something in it.
Yeah, I'm a doctor, so I believe it was poison.
We know what we're talking about over here, aka we have no idea.
I'm an amphibianologist.
And not an amphibianologist. They're very rare. Like, only one exists. He's here. But yeah, then Cam decides to have an animal communicator over.
That bitch could have said anything, and Cam would have been like, yeah. Because she literally was like, oh, is Louis here? And she's like, yeah, he's definitely still here. Does Louis mind if
Fancy
wears the clothes? She's like, oh my God, yeah. He's like, I don't need them.
Sometimes I'm like,
what?
Whatever you need to hear, I guess. And I did like this moment when Court said, do you ever get annoyed with how ridiculous all the things are around you? And he was like, well, I think like life's kind of hard and can suck. So it's nice to have like a pink bubble of energy around you at times that's just always so positive.
That was actually very cute.
I know.
And I was like, okay, y'all actually like
it makes
each other.
Sense. Like the relationship makes more sense now.
I like that. That was actually really cute. Yeah. I just thought the medium was pretty pointless.
Yeah, she was pointless. But I guess whatever makes you feel better about moving. I could see myself doing some crazy shit like that, honestly. So I was like, I'm not going to judge
Well, if you ever need anyone to
call
you, just let me know.
He'll put on a wig and that jacket and come over. But Jeremy and Deandra are hanging out at their house and discussing that she actually got an email from her stepmother.
Yes.
And follow up to the letter that she had dropped off at her stepbrother's house.
And I thought the email was actually very nice. Deandra was taking, she sent this email and, it started off nice and it got so rude at the end. I was like, wait, she literally just said, I'm happy to meet you. We should discuss some things of the past.
And also your stepbrother does want to meet up. Like, we can all have dinner after we meet.
What was the problem with that?
I think that, and this could be completely untrue. I have no idea. I think she feels very guilty about everything, the way it went down. I mean, her dad's will. Because she basically went to her mom.
It's not her fault, but, I would feel bad.
And the fact that she's I offered to split it down the middle, and But she was inheriting so much other money, right? Or is this?
I mean, it's coming from Mom and D, yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's separate money. That's from Mom and D's second marriage.
Yeah. Or the other money. But this money was from her first marriage.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's it's weird that she needed... but wanted that money so bad whenever she's gonna get money from her stepdad. Well,
she also and
a lot of money, I would think.
She acts kind of immaturely sometimes. I think she's like, "How dare you throw that on a kid's bed?" And she was 36 years old. I understand
that's
it was
not
her fault,
kid.
Right? So that's kind of my thing with it. Yeah. I'm like, I understand that you should have been entitled to money, of course, but maybe you guys could have all split it 3 ways, or not just down the middle and then they split it half, because I'm sure she was living a fabulous life, the stepmom, before he died.
Yes, it's I didn't know that her real dad also had money. I always thought Mom and D kind of left him because he didn't have money.
Yeah,
is my perception of the situation. But it was also very interesting because this is more of a Mom and D stepmom fight, because apparently Mom and D had a separate will the whole time.
Yes,
that said if the dad doesn't pay child support for Deandra gets all of the money when he dies.
His entire inheritance.
That's an insane agreement.
Yeah. And she had this in a will, like you say, on paper that superseded the one.
I believe it. It's just this is a very insane will, because we're speaking now of Deandra being 36, and obviously child support usually ends when you're 18.
Yeah.
So that's a wild agreement.
I couldn't believe that.
I couldn't believe it either. So it's weird that Deandra is kind of getting blamed for this when this is clearly a Mama D stepmom fight. No. In my eyes.
No, that's exactly what it was. It was nothing to do with Deandra, really.
And Mama D still doesn't give a shit.
But they went to court and they fought it out and she won clearly and they probably ended up with not much. Like, I mean, it looks like the stepbrother lived in a nice neighborhood. I'm sure like he has a career and everything.
Yeah, but Deandra lives in like Highland Park and like drives like a Bentley and all this shit. Like a little bit, like, you know, like.
Yeah, no, it's a very different lifestyle. Yeah, so like probably from what he grew up with.
But that's what annoys me because Deandra's always like, oh, this is just so rough on me, as she's like patting her eyes with like $100 bills. I'm like, girl.
Exactly.
Like, stop.
No, you're right. And then speaking of like moms and daughters, we go over to Tiffany's house because it's Tiffany's mom's birthday. And she's coming over to make dumplings. And like, you can just tell like the mom kind of is like rushing as she's making them. And she's like, I'm not going to stay to eat. And you can tell Tiffany is just like crushed. And I think she says in her interview, if it looks like I'm crushed, it's because I am.
I am, yeah. Well, she was like kind of, she was crying in the interview, yeah.
But then she kind of sits down and she's like, why don't you stay for a little bit? Her mom's like, okay. You see, she gets a glass of red wine. They're sitting down with the husband. And I just have to say, before we talk about this conversation, I love Tiffany's daughters so much. So they were cracking me up throughout this entire conversation. Like, they would start kind of having a deep conversation, and the daughter would be like, Mom, where was I? She's like, you weren't born. She's like, where do babies come from?
She's like, okay, not now.
No, like, we will talk about this later. This is like, she's finally about to have a breakthrough with her mom, and her daughter's just like, that's like y'all love kids sometimes. Like, the comedic factor, they don't care.
Seriously, they bring down the seriousness of any situation.
Yes. But she was talking about how her mom basically raised her in a library because her mom was getting her master's at the time, or she was in school at the time. And she was like, yeah, but that's why you were so smart, because you grew up in the library, and that's why. And Tiffany was like, she just doesn't get it. Like, that's not the point.
Well, this is such a clear case of miscommunication, and also the parent thinking they were doing right.
Right.
And not realizing what they were doing.
Like, look how successful you are now. Look where you are now. It's because...
And that's what they thought was right. And so it's clear, it's just like, it's good that they're having this conversation, because the mom was completely receptive of what she was saying and was like, no, I don't want you to feel this way. That's not how I feel. I'm so proud of you. I love you.
Yes.
And if anything, being like having COVID, the pandemic happening, it's making me realize what's important. So it was actually like a great, it was the breakthrough that, remember a couple weeks ago,
I wrote down, I felt like a breakthrough.
To have a breakthrough for everyone's sake.
Yes.
And it happened.
Because Tiffany had even said, I feel like you're never happy with me. Like you say, her mom hugs her. Yeah. They really do have a breakthrough. And it was nice to see. It was like,
nice to end the episode on that. Because it was like, oh, it wrapped it up.
It's like you say, it's what like we've been after too. Yeah. As like viewers. And I can't even imagine what Tiffany's gone through with it. So it's nice to see her get that.
Yes. And like I said, it's nice to hear your parents say they're proud of you and support you. And also nice to hear like, oh, I didn't realize this is what you were feeling. Yes. Because then I think after that point, it's like, oh, then it opens up for me to be like, oh, I never felt that way. Now I want to show you I never felt that way.
Exactly. And I agree. Well, that was Dallas. It's a good little app.
It was cute. So you're ready to get into some Jersey Shore, bitch!
Well, we are not at the Jersey Shore anymore.
I know, I just miss doing that.
We're finally back from the shore, guys. Like, I know it's been a while, but we are back in actual... Where do they live?
Are you ready to go to Franklin Lakes, bitch?
Amazing. We're going to Franklin Lakes. But Jennifer, we kind of start with her, and it turns out that her sister and her dad, they all did go to Turkey to visit the new baby, and the mom did not go. And we're not surprised by that.
No, not at all.
But they're sitting there talking, and like, let's be honest, the mom is so obsessed with Bill. Like, that's like all she...
Yeah, she loves Bill.
She's like, I think she loves Bill more than she loves Jennifer.
Yeah, and it also, like, I think I said a couple episodes ago, is like, Jen also really loves Bill, and I really like their relationship.
Well, that's why they were actually discussing everything that, like, Margaret had said, like, you are, like, your husband's a meal ticket, whatever. And I love that her mom said, Bill is handsome, educated, respectful. He is the man of their dreams. Or maybe Jennifer said that. Like, he is the man that they all would love to have in their life. And I was like, boom, like,
there you go.
Like, I don't think it's for real. And, like, not that I know Margaret and Joe are great, so I don't think that that's why she does it. But there's no need for her to ever say the meal ticket thing. It's just, like, so stupid.
And also, I feel like I've read it, or maybe even talked about it, but, like, didn't they get married before he had money?
Yeah, I think he was in school.
Like, maybe
still.
He was, like, becoming a doctor, but, like, that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you can also, like, be a doctor and be lazy. You can be a office worker and be lazy. You can be anything and be lazy. Yeah. Or you can be one that works your ass off. No matter what you do. You can be good at it or you can be bad at it. And you can be successful or not. And he is a very hard worker.
Yeah, there you go. So...
But it's just any time at this point, Jennifer's mom is using anything to bash Jennifer's dad.
Yes.
Like, she is like, yeah, nothing like your father ever was to me. Like, she was having a full-on breakdown. She was like, I was 16 and he was 26 when we got married, which does seem crazy.
That's wild, but
that's an arranged marriage, and it's cultural, and it's different. And she's like, I gave him 48 years of my life, and you can just tell she's having a full-on anxiety breakdown. Like,
it's
what
been
have I
leading
been
up to this, like, throughout the season.
She's like, what have I spended? Oh my God, who am I? Am I Teresa?
Ma'am.
Every time we start talking Jersey, I start having
we
Teresaisms.
just completely have a breakdown.
I'm like, I spended my whole life with him. I'm like, I spent my whole life with him. I like can't not talk like Teresa. But yeah, she's just definitely, I think, having some regrets for staying married when she wasn't happy. But next up, we go to the most gorgeous little lunch spot I've ever seen in my life. That was actually really
cute.
I was like, I want to go there. Why don't we have something like that?
Yeah, it was airy, it was light, it was comfortable. I was like, give me that. I'll never leave.
I was living. I wasn't even listening to what they were saying. I was just like, oh my God, I want to go there.
Well, it wasn't too exciting. Because pretty much the conversation was talking about not homeschooling, but since the pandemic, the kids are at home. They're talking about how crazy that is. And then, of course, we get into the Marge and Jen of it all, where Marge is like, I can't believe Jen's coming after me and my husband, that whole thing.
And they were like, you guys both were wrong. You both were going in on each other.
And that part was fine. I think the meat of it was them talking about Joe
Gorga
being a little bit controlling, a little bit problematic when it comes to the relationship. And y'all know I stand by that. I think there is some toxic. We can't speak. Oh my God.
Speak. Good thing we're not doing a podcast.
When it's our only medium.
I know.
Toxic masculinity, a little misogyny, a little, all of that in the relationship. And it's just so
but it's also
wild
funny how that's one of the things that attracted Melissa to Joe. She's saying I loved when he would tell me what to do back in the day. I loved that he was the boss. I loved that I was the person that he was taking care of. But now I'm you know what, I want to go for drinks with my girlfriends. I want to go do this, and I just want you to be cool, have a good time.
Well, it was wild. She was like, oh, he wouldn't let me go to bachelorette parties. He wouldn't let me go hang out with my friends. And I'm not letting is different than I don't want to
go. Exactly.
And I don't know if she was just mixing that up, but
no,
from what she said, it was not letting. He didn't allow her to go.
Yeah, I think that's what it meant.
That's a problem.
And I think that's what attracted to her. That's what she liked though back in the day when she was young and she was I like the protector because I think that's what you think love is. But now she's older and she's independent. She's that's not what I want. That's not a relationship to me now.
No. I want to be free to go out with my girls if I want to.
But they also talk about a little speculation that Teresa might have a boyfriend at this point.
Yes.
And Melissa's I'm the worst liar because you can tell that she kind of knows that obviously she's dating probably what's his name, Louise?
Sure.
Yeah. His name's Louis, right?
But side note, this maybe should have been in our hot topics area because I was reading yesterday that apparently he's a playboy.
Ooh.
And has had multiple quick relationships. Also, they're kind of alluding that he's a sex addict.
Oh, stop.
And that his ex-girlfriend came out that one of the reasons why they broke up is because he was wanting to have sex up to 4 times a day.
Well, that's what Teresa wants.
And if she didn't, he was mad at her and got pissed if they didn't have sex that much. And also there's apparently a page in the town that he lives in that's a secret sex group page that they think he runs. This was in page 6 or something.
Page 6 strikes again.
I know. And so maybe we have a sexaholic on our hands.
I could see Teresa being into that when she's
for 5
saying,
seconds.
I really want sex a lot, blah, 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 because she's been alone for a while. But also, I never think that the relationship you get into when you get out of a long-term relationship is the one that sticks.
But wait.
Oh, no, I don't want to hear anymore. No.
This is just something that I'm now connecting on the fly. Do you think Teresa's talking so much about sex because he's wanting to have sex so much? So she thinks, oh, I really am into sex right now because this is what my man wants. I want my man to be happy. So if my man likes talking about sex a lot, I'm going to talk about sex a lot. And let's just set it up because when people find out that he loves sex this much, I also love sex this much.
Chase, I think that you might have just Nancy Drew'd that. I am not going to rule that out. I think that all goes
I think that's why she's talking about it so much is because I think she's thrown off about how much they're having sex. But how you convince yourself having sex 4 times a day is okay is by talking about sex 4 times a day.
And but most people, like, they're not sitting there saying, yes, Teresa, that's normal. They're all like, oh my God, like, why do you talk about it so much?
Exactly.
So, like, I guess she is trying to normalize it in her mind.
That's what her and her boyfriend are doing.
Oh, okay, that's actually wild. I will be very curious to see what comes of this storyline. But Delores, we go on a very different note. We go to Dolores' house, and she's scheduling, like, a biopsy because she had a mammogram that didn't look, like, it looked a little
something
abnormal.
Yeah.
And then we jump into our Big Ham Linky moment of the week. He comes into the house. Big Ham Linky moment of the week. He comes into the house and she's standing there.
He's a masculine. Yeah.
We love a little Big Ham Linky moment. When Chase does voices, we also love that. But there's like a Chihuahua dog on the counter, and Melissa stood there oh my God, Dolores has stood there petting him, and he comes in. Is this the one you put down too?
I'm waiting.
Yes, and then he kisses Dolores, and he's like, hey babes, how are ya? And then he's like, oh, what, I gotta kiss you too?
Yes!
Leans down and kisses a little doggy, and I was like, I live. Is that what you wrote as yours?
I wrote down.
I gotta cheers you on that.
Moment of the week. Frank saying to the dog, did I not kiss you too? Proceeds to kiss her. I love.
We stand Big Ham Linky.
Oh my God, that was the best moment.
Y'all know
ever.
we do.
I think that was almost the best Ham Linky moment we've ever seen.
It might be the most. It's good luck
at least for me right
one.
now.
Good luck topping that one. But he's like talking to her, and she's like, I don't want to get the kids worked up and upset. I'm not going to tell them I'm having this. I'm only telling you and David. And he was like, and what does David think? He's like, David said that, like, it's fine. I'm sure it's fine. And he was like, listen, I like David, but I don't like certain things that he does. And, like, because I guess, like, he just doesn't think he cares enough. He's just not
I mean, he doesn't, at least from what we see, it doesn't seem like David cares enough.
No, I agree with you, and I agree with Frank, because that's clearly what he means by that. But yeah, now the girls are getting ready to go to a party at Trees, because she's
psychic party,
hosting a psychic medium party. And every time I hear that, I'm like, okay, we'll see. Sounds, I actually think Allison DuBois in the dinner party from hell every time I think it. And Joe Bonino, I thought it was funny as he was leaving, because Margaret was like talking about, oh God, we'll see how it's going to go tonight, because Jennifer's been doing these Instagram lives where she's just so out of touch, and she's just like, my nanny quit, my housekeeper quit, like I'm going crazy trying to clean this house, which I'm like, okay, maybe Jennifer should get off. Like,
yeah, I mean,
but at the end of the day, like, if you don't like it, don't watch. Like, I don't know why. Like, Margaret just does not like Jennifer.
I was gonna say, I think they were just making like kind of like out of touch comment. Like, I don't think it was a bad comment. It was just a little out of touch. Like, oh, my struggles with my housekeeper, blah blah. So just a little like, okay, eye roll. Yeah. But the fact that Marge had to like say something about it is a little like reaching and Marge, like, for keeps talking anger. About it. It reminds me of like that Mean Girls thing when she's like looking in the mirror and she's like, I can hear myself always talking about it. Or,
but I could hear people getting bored with me, but I couldn't stop. Like, I was obsessed.
And I feel like that's Marge. Like, she can't stop talking about Jen.
You're so right. And that's what Joe Bonino, like, as she's leaving, he's like, I have a premonition things are not going to go well tonight. And I was like, ooh, I die.
The ghosties.
I think not the little ghosty. But yeah, then we actually meet the psychic medium, and like, guys, that's probably the best medium I've ever seen on any show. Her, like, if this all is real, and like, she was absolutely getting everything spot on, like specifics, crazy stuff.
But why was Michelle the Realtor there?
I knew we had to talk about that.
I was angry about it.
I think they were trying to make her a friend of, and it's just like not happening.
Yeah, but like, why?
Yeah, we don't need
clearly
it.
She brought nothing because she's not really a friend of, because she's on it for like 2 episodes. But I was just like, all the girls are here. I love when it's just the cast. Nope, we have to have Michelle the Realtor, and there's a fuzz in my face. Oh my God.
I was like, what is that?
Yeah, I'm trying to catch a fuzz.
I was like, what is happening?
Like, why is she here?
Yeah, you know how we feel about Michelle the Realtor, guys. We do not stand for...
Heated, didn't like.
Very heated. We should have her on the podcast, though. Maybe we should become a Michelle the... Michelle the Realtor.
It's like Teresa.
Oh God, we're not doing that this week. I'm cutting it off. No. But Delores is like basically being told by the medium that her grandparents are here and like they want to talk to her. And they basically say, David's not your soulmate. He's not the one for you. Like, the sooner you break things off, the sooner you can meet who you're meant to be with. Which kind of made me sad. Because I was like, does that mean it's not Frank? Like, who's she's meant to be with? They were like, you haven't met, like, the true love of your life yet. And I was like, stop. I wish they would have said...
He's at home right now.
I know, like, he's at home kissing a chihuahua on the head. I'm like, don't you dare tell me that. And she was just kind of like, okay, like, you know, like, well, I guess, you know, if I gotta move on,
it is what it is.
But then they say, but there's a dog here, a big dog that jumped up with them. And then she started busting out crying. And, like, all the other girls were kind of, like, crying at the time, but in their interviews, they're like, so you don't cry when you hear your boyfriend's not your soulmate, but you cry over the dog.
They were kind of like, I've never seen Delores cry.
And I was crying watching, though. I was like, am I Delores? I was bawling my eyes out watching that scene.
But, I mean, I honestly think I would have cried more over the dog, too.
Yes, that's what I'm like, exactly.
Okay, yeah.
Same. Like, I literally, when she started crying over the dog, I lost it. I was like, no, I can't.
That's what I was saying. Is like,
no.
I get, like, so I think, okay, it's weird. So, for example, I think she was upset about the David comment, but...
like, built up.
But she, like, also, like, kind of... I don't know. There's certain things that you can, like, hear and hold it in.
Yeah.
But when it comes to animals...
those
floodgates just open.
I wrote down, literally, am I Delores crying over dogs but not over men? I was like, are we basically...
And I think that's iconic.
Are we Delores?
Yeah.
I was living for that moment.
Because I related to that. I was like, I get why she doesn't need to necessarily cry over a man.
Yes.
But crying over a dog who does have unconditional love for you and are perfect, I get it.
Right. And we have a dog sitting here.
Yeah, and he's like, yes, ma'am.
Bing is like, exactly. Am I perfect? He knows what we're talking about.
He literally did look up at you and he was like, yeah, ma'am.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you're right.
That was such a sweet moment.
But she goes around the room and honestly, everyone gets a tidbit of like factual information about someone that's passed on. Maybe a little bit of like the future. Because even like, I
think the two good ones were Jennifer and Teresa.
I was going to say Jennifer, her parents come up.
Yeah.
And we find out that Jennifer actually has like
a great uncle that was like a martyr in the Armenian genocide that became like a Pope sanctioned like person.
Yeah, like they like gave him a title of like or something crazy like in the church.
I wrote it. What did they call it?
Because I don't know anything about religion.
I don't know anything about Catholicism. They sainted him, so they made.
Okay, there you go. Amazing. Yeah. So they were saying that she has a ton of people looking out for her.
Yes,
and like, it also brought up like her family.
Yes. They just brought up about, like, you need to tell your mom she's right. Like, you need to talk to your mom and say that she's right. Not in how she's acting, but she's right in her feelings and feeling the way she feels.
And I think that's actually something we as humans forget a lot, is that we don't have to necessarily agree with someone in their actions in that moment, but they're clearly feeling some type of way. And to validate someone's feeling is so refreshing for the person.
Yes. And that's basically what she was being told by these spirits. And the spirits have to tell us, not any other human.
And the spirits told me that, honestly, as well. I listened to that and I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
Not wrong. We can't change how people perceive a situation and how they feel in a situation. We can only be like, I hear what you're saying. I understand you. And that's so important. And then you can kind of build off of like, but... you know, what you're doing.
We need to start approaching all things like that from now on.
I think so.
We'll never have like fights with, I mean, not that we fight with people, let's be honest, but we'll never have an argument with, oh my gosh, the next time we get a negative comment on our Instagram on anything, I'm going to be like, hey, I really respect that you feel that way. I'm here to listen.
Actually, let's role play. This is embarrassing.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry that you feel embarrassed for us, but we really enjoyed it. But I take your feedback and I appreciate that. Thanks so much, AJ. We got a comment from someone called AJ on Instagram that said, like, this is embarrassing. On our dancing video to the Countess Luann, most people were positive, but we had one hater. And now I appreciate her feelings. And I'm like, thanks, AJ.
What? And you know what the response would be? It was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean it in a negative way. I was just doing that. No one could ever
respond like that.
Well, just because once you're nice to someone, they either don't respond or they get so in their feels that they're like, oh, no,
they'll probably just like delete the comment, let's be honest. She'll go back and delete it. Mm-hmm. But that's how we're handling everything else from here on out.
I think that's actually a great way to handle things.
And we have to, the other person that the medium brought up was Teresa's parents, obviously. And she said, you know, like, they said they're really happy for you in this new relationship. And all the girls are like, ugh. So basically the psychic medium outed Teresa and her new boyfriend. I was like, how iconic is that?
I love that. The spirits were like, you're not getting away from this episode, bitch.
And she was like, okay. Like, it was not gone into further. And Melissa was just like, oh my God, like, I'm such a bad liar again. I start drinking. I start talking too much. I'm going to accidentally say his name. Like.
Also, we know Nonno is an icon, but the fact that she said he was standing next to a tree with a blue label bottle of whiskey, I was like, badass bitch. Does this mean that I get to drink in the afterlife? Sign me up. I'll believe in God if that's what it means.
He is coming to have a drink in heaven.
Save my ass, bitch. If there's whiskey waiting for me.
Chase is like bottomless mimosas. See you there on Sunday.
And I will be bottomless drinking those mimosas.
And for that reason, Chase is no longer getting into heaven.
I immediately went down to hell.
He was headed with Little Nas X to have a good time. But we have to discuss this, and I think we discussed it recently. Melissa and Joe are going on a date night at RHONJ, the restaurant that we talked about a few weeks ago when he's like, do you remember, I remember Chase said, do you remember when they used to always go to this restaurant that's on a railroad track?
Rails,
whatever.
baby.
You were correct, and I died. I screamed when I saw it. But we never saw this part of the RHONJ restaurant. They went to like
Not the
underground cellar. I was like, this is freaking stunning. Not very COVID sanitary because this was the height of
Yeah, because I was
COVID.
like, y'all are like in a stone dungeon essentially with multiple tables around you.
And like this is very sterile, or maybe it is sterile. Who knows?
Honestly, who knows at this point?
I know. But Joe does, and I thought this was very interesting. He was complimenting Melissa's work ethic, and like, when I met you, you work 3 jobs, and I love that about you. I love your drive. I'm like, wait, but these are all the things that you don't like about her relationship now?
This makes me want to pull out my hair.
Yes.
Because everyone knows I made this abundantly clear. This storyline seems fishy and fake to me.
Yep.
And the fact that he immediately turns around and says like, I support you. Just, you know what? I just want you to kind of shut off sometimes. No, bitch.
Yep.
You have to say, I was an asshole. I'm unreasonable. I'm a misogynist sometimes. I control you a little bit. Then say sorry. If you don't say that, I don't believe it's a real story.
All he said was like, I don't want to lose you. I'm sorry, basically. That was his version of an apology.
If you don't call out your own faults and why you're wrong...
But then
I don't take the apology.
Melissa should...
Actually, he didn't apologize.
Well, no, he apologized. He did say, like, sorry, I really don't want to lose you.
Okay.
But I think what Melissa should have said back is, like, I accept your apology. Obviously, I love you. But, like, can you just, like, be a little more specific about the reasons, like, or what you're going to change maybe going forward? Because I'm not sure that we've ever had the conversation, like, what are you going to change about the way you treat me going forward? You know what I mean?
Yes.
And that's what needs to be said.
Yes. Because the thing is... It's clearly...
You can just say sorry and it doesn't mean anything. You know what I mean?
No, it's like you have to set the groundwork for what's going to happen next after the sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I'm like, I just don't believe it. Because...
Well, they don't want to like clear it off the table in case they need a storyline for next season.
There you go. Exactly, Cassie. Exactly.
But then we get to like probably the saddest part of the episode.
Oh, it actually broke my heart. Oh my gosh.
Jennifer's parents are both at her house. Like her mom comes over to like make dinner with her. And her dad's there, obviously, and Bill comes in, and they're just bickering, and, like, she's like, I was never happy with you, and it just, like, breaks my heart every time I see the dad just sitting there. It just, like, makes me cry.
I know, because he's clearly much older than... Because the mom's, like, actually seems pretty, like, spry and young.
He's 10 years older than her.
And he's 10 years older, so it's like, he's clearly... He just looks older. He seems in great health, etc. But it's, like, it's just when you see him sitting there, and, like, it just... All of it breaks my heart. Honestly,
frail.
There's no one...
He seems beaten down.
He seems frail. There you go.
And she's like, and Jennifer's like, you know what, Mom, I do, like, I believe you. I understand everything you're saying. And then, like, the mom, I almost think, like, takes that and runs with it even more. And she's like, I was never happy. I was never this. I was never that. And he's like, that's not true. And she was like, you abused me. He's like, I did not abuse you. And she's like, well, no, we need to acknowledge, like,
emotional abuse.
It is a good thing that Bill was there. Because I think Bill was really, like, the voice of reason and like trying to make it rational between everyone, because Gabby, their oldest daughter, was sitting there and she started crying, of course, because who wants to see their grandparents screaming and arguing. And he was like, all right, like, Gabby, baby, go upstairs, you don't need to be around this.
That was very great. I like that.
Like Bill is just so like, I almost feel like it's like a doctor thing whenever you're very like a calm in the chaos.
Yeah, I mean, like, hopefully, like, you always want a good doctor that's going to have a good bedside manner.
Yes.
And that's what I always say. It's like, sometimes doctors don't, sometimes doctors do. And it seems like he does. Yeah.
He was like, you guys were married back then. It was different. It was arranged. It was for status. It was for money. It was just different. Like, you didn't marry for love, is what he said.
And he even said it was like, we're in America now. You can do what you want. It's the 21st century. It's 2021 or 2020 at the time. Like, you can divorce and find your happiness. He didn't say divorce, but he was like, y'all can each find your own happiness, like, separately.
Which is what they need to do, and they need to just, like, it seems like it was a bit of another breakthrough moment.
Yeah, it was.
It seems like it could be, from here moving forward, they can maybe just communicate more reasonably. I don't know.
Well, because it was like, as I kind of went on my little rant a little bit earlier about when the medium said, like, you need to tell your mom, like, that she's right.
Right.
Like, when Jen did tell her mom, like, your feelings are valid, her mom immediately broke down and was like,
that's all
it's so great to hear you say that. It's like, clearly no one's ever told her mom that, like, I hear you.
Yeah.
Which in that sense makes me believe that the mom almost doubles and triples and quadrupled down on her feelings. So she's like, I just want to be heard.
Yes.
So it makes her more angry.
It makes you act out even more when you feel
exactly.
like you're not
so the
being
fact
heard.
that no one's ever told her your feelings are valid,
right,
makes her probably attack harder. So I think this is a time where Jen's like, okay, I'm realizing that's not working. I'm going to be like, I'm going to validate your feelings. And I think once her mom feels validated, it opens up for them to all talk as a family.
And that's all you can hope for moving forward with that.
And I will say, a lot of times, as we've seen with Tree, Joe, and Melissa, things explode and are so toxic. It's wild to see Jen's family have legit issues, but also work through them without being toxic necessarily.
Yeah.
Because her mom has actually been pretty explosive and rude throughout this season so far. But I do think she's willing to be like, let's work on it. And I don't know. I think it's just different to me. I don't know why.
I'm curious to see what comes of it. But it seems like a true,
legit, like, family issue, but they're willing to work through it.
Because, like, at the end of
the day... And it's not for cameras. I don't believe any of it's for cameras.
No, I don't think it's for the cameras.
And I think maybe that's
it's
the difference.
Real.
It's like, I think this is so real and so legit, so I'm happy about it.
Well, I think also, like, it'll be, like, interesting to see if they maybe can just, like, spend holidays together and things like that and get it to a more peaceful place.
Yeah.
Like, don't stay together. Maybe not live together. Maybe
I think it's great that they're separate.
Yes. So, I'm curious to see, like, I would love to know their status right now. Like, just
Me too. I'm actually very curious as well.
Well, see
we should ask Jen. We should reach out.
Maybe the reunion, we might get a little glimpse of that.
Oh, good point.
Because it was filmed recently, so... Yeah. Or has it been filmed?
I don't think it's been filmed yet.
Yeah. If Andy... I think Andy
So I know Dallas and Atlanta's been filmed.
Tweet me your questions. Maybe I'm going to send that question.
Yeah, send that one.
We shall see. Well, all right. That's this week's episode.
Yeah.
Hope you guys had fun. I know we had a lot of hot takes, but Dallas and Jersey were fun to talk about, too.
Yeah, I just feel like we had a lot to say.
Yeah.
I hope y'all enjoyed what we had to say.
We always do, right?
I mean, I could... Honestly, this podcast would be 3 hours. I would keep talking.
We would.
If it were up to us, this would be a 3-hour podcast.
It would be the longest podcast of all.
But it's not, and we are at the end now. But guys, if you have a second, go rate us 5 stars. Leave us a comment. You know I'm going to say it. And I just said it. I'm going to say it again. Comment, 5 stars. Love to hear from you. I kind of feel like if you leave a nice review, I want to call you out, read it on the podcast. So leave us something nice.
I was like, don't call him out, but no, he wants to get
call out in a good way.
I was like, oh my God, if you leave a good, I'm going to fight you is what it's
Yeah. I'm going to roast your ass if you leave a comment.
Oh, we should. No. We should read some positive comments.
Yeah.
Maybe
so
next week.
If you feel it in your heart, feel it deep inside, praise be Jesus, leave us a 5-star comment.
And on that note, cheers, guys. We'll see you next time.